Hello, everybody. This is lesson 2 of the introduction. Let's start talking about some tips while dealing with the writing section. Tips means pieces of advice. So the first piece of advice is don't repeat ideas in different ways. So if you are talking about one idea taken from the graph, when you finish talking about it, then this is finished, over. Don't repeat it in some other place. Even if you use a different language, that is not recommended. So please, when you talk about ideas, talk about each idea only once. The second piece of advice, don't try too many words. Keep to the word limit for each task. For example, in task 1, you are asked to write around 150 words. But don't try 200, 250 for that task because the number of words is limited. It is acceptable to write 170 words, let's say, or 130 words, which is 20 words less, but not 100. So keep the range, for example, for task 1 to be from 130 words to 170 words, 20 words less or 20 words more. For task 2, you are asked to write around 150 words. Don't write 300 or 350, or don't write 200. Again, you can take a range between 30 words, 30 words, 230 words, up to 270 words. Learn to recognize how long 150 or 250 words are in your own handwriting. You don't really have time to count. Yeah, because there is no time in the exam. There is no time to count the words one by one. So how are you going to figure or guess the number of words? Usually we assume to have 10 words in each line. Now, if you are asked to write 150 words, then how many lines you are expected to write? Around 15 lines. If you are asked to write 250 words, so the number of lines would be approximately 25 lines. The first type is called bar chart, and here it is important to see the names, how we name each of these graphs. Of course, all of them are called graphs, but they have specific names. For example, this one is called bar chart, and the bar chart looks like this. So this is a bar chart. Now, pie chart. The pie chart looks like this. Both of them are called, in general, they are called graphs, but their specific names are, the first one is bar chart and the second one is pie chart. And the last one of the graphs is called line graph. This one, you see, it is line graph, not line chart. And it looks like this. So these are some samples of the graphs that we are going to study. Now let's start with the bar charts. What is a bar chart? Of course, this is a sample as we have seen in the previous slide. This is a sample of a bar chart. A bar chart is a graph that makes information easier to understand by showing how two or more sets of data are related. A bar chart is divided into columns. As you can see in this example, we have columns, bars. Okay, we have the blue bar or column, and next to it there is the brown bar or the brown column. And here we have 5 sets, each two together. We have 5 sets of data. All right. Now, there is something else which is important here we have to look at is the title of the bar chart. And not only when we talk about bar charts, when we talk about pie charts only, again, and line graphs, we have to look at certain information in the graph. So the title is very important. And here the title is the chart below shows the expenditure of 2 countries on consumer goods in 2010. So this is the title. We are going to use this information when we come to writing. It is important to look at the title. Again, at the bottom of the bar chart, below the columns, you can see we have 2 countries, France and UK. Again, and this is called the key. Again, we need to pay attention to this when we come to writing. On the vertical axis, the numbers, these numbers, as you can see them, starting from 0, then 50,000, 100, etc. Again, this is very important, and we will come to the how to deal with these things when we start talking about writing. Now, this is another sample of a bar chart. Again, you can see the title, calories and fat in a fast food meal. This is the title called. Now, the box on the right side, we have 2 things, calories, fat calories. This is called the key. All right. At the bottom, we have the horizontal axis. We call it the horizontal axis. We have cheeseburger, large fries, apple pie, diet coke. This is called the horizontal axis, and this information is important. The vertical axis, the numbers here, 0, 100, 200, etc., and these represent the calories. So these are very important again in describing the bar chart. This is another example. Again, the information are clear. Now let's come to pie chart. What is a pie chart? This is the sample we have seen previously. A pie chart is a circular graph. Circular looks like a circle. Okay, so it is a circular graph that is divided into segments, and segments means pieces. So you see here the pie chart, this circle is divided into parts. How many parts do we have? We have 5 parts here. Sometimes they are less, sometimes they are more. So it doesn't matter, but they are the circle here, or the pie chart, is divided into segments or pieces. The last sentence, you see, it is usually used to show percentages. If you look at the sample here, you can see the numbers given represent what? They represent percentage. For example, the first one on the top right corner, 27%. Below that we have 30%. Then on the left we have 20%, and so on. So usually we use pie charts when we talk about percentages. Now here we have a sample, another sample of the pie chart. Again, the percentages are clear, as you can see, and this circle or pie is divided into parts. This is another one. Now, line graphs. Now, What are line graphs? This is a sample of a line graph. Now, a line graph is a graph which shows how two or more sets of numbers or measurements are related. As you can see, we have different sets of information here, and they are represented in the form of lines, and you can see the colors. We have four sets, all right? Four sets of information or numbers. They are used to describe trends. Trends are changes in facts and figures over a period of time. So here in this sample of the line graph, you can see, for example, one line sometimes goes up, sometimes flat, sometimes goes down. So trends here, the trend means where is it going, whether it is going up or down or it is stable. Words used in describing line graphs are like, so there are certain words that can be used to describe line graphs like these. These are just samples. Rose, you see, going up, fell, going down, increased, decreased, remained the same. Remained the same, you see, stable here. Shot up. Shot up means goes up or increases, but sharply. Fell sharply, fluctuated. Fluctuated means keeps going up and down, up and down. This is fluctuation. Now, this is another sample. Here we have two sets. In the previous example, we had five. So it depends. This is another sample of a line graph. And here you can see again we have five sets of information. Again, I would like to repeat what I mentioned at the beginning regarding the information we can collect from the graphs. The title is very important, the key, the horizontal axis, and the vertical axis, because we are going to use this information when we come to writing.